everybody. Welcome to Tell Me Why. The podcast for American Airlines team members looks at the why behind the news and information, everything that happens at American Airlines. My name is Ron DeFeo in the Global Engagement Group. And today it's a special day. We're actually recording this on the day of the Stand Up to Cancer rally, and two incredible guests, Rusty Robertson, co-founder of Stand Up to Cancer, and two-time Emmy winner Eric Stonestreet. How are you guys doing?
Very good.
Great. Had a blast out there.
It was quite the event.
Yes,
I mean, hundreds of people, probably north of 1,000 people out in Town Center, celebrating our relationship, right? We've raised over $14.5 million with you guys.
Yes.
$2.5 million this past year. Rusty, we're going to start with you.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about Stand Up to Cancer and why the partnership with American, is so special and unique.
Well, the uniqueness of stand-up partnering with American Airlines is just so special. First of all, we get things done really quickly. And we take your messages and we merge them with our messages, and it just works. And then, of course, we don't speak the words until we find then our ambassadors. And it just works great. And then comes MasterCard, which is, a partner of yours. That's and right. Another donor. So you can imagine now we can really, go to the public, tell them what we need, and get unbelievable funding.
That's awesome. And your model, of course, is unique and working directly, to research and right with the scientists. So talk a little bit about, how our funding has helped along this path.
Oh, my goodness. I can tell you that something just happened in the last 6 months, and because of your funding, we have now vaccines for pancreatic cancer, which 50% die within 3 years. And now, because of mRNA, we actually can take somebody's own. Oh my goodness! Now listen. Can you stop this and start over again? No, I was going to say a tumor.
Perhaps.
A tumor, and it becomes personal.
Right.
So we are doing things that are so out of the box and saving lives.
Awesome.
Then we have colorectal. Just have to tell you this.
Yeah.
We just finished a clinical trial where every single person is cancer-free, and they didn't have surgery, and they didn't have chemo, and they didn't have radiation. And that is what all of you have done for us and for the world.
That is terrific. And you talk about the role our ambassadors play. And Eric's here today. Eric, talk a little bit about how you got involved with Stand Up.
Well, when Modern Family happened, what comes along with that, I was an actor for 13 years before Modern Family that no one knew who I was. Sure. And I knew that when, a big TV show happens, TV is immediate, TV is very fast. And I would inevitably be asked to partner with organizations and groups and use my name and face to create goodwill and raise awareness for things. And cancer in kids were my sort of two things that I told everybody in my life that I was interested in. And when I learned about Stand Up to Cancer and what it really meant, which is research-driven and getting people talking and sharing information, I was blown away, just like everyone is, that doctors, might have had some success on one thing, but weren't sharing that success with anyone else. But more importantly, doctors were having failure with things and weren't sharing the failures. And meanwhile, across the country, people are working on the same thing that another office or another research center knows isn't going to work. So the fact that the ladies of Stand Up got all those minds together and created the dream teams was really something that was exciting to me. And selfishly, what I said out there, which was, I knew the call would be coming eventually for somebody that I knew and loved. And I wanted to be on the front lines of cancer research, and the only way I was going to be on the front lines of cancer research was aligning myself with people that were on the front lines of cancer research.
And as you shared out there, you have a personal cancer connection. So if you don't mind just
I have, unfortunately, many personal cancer connections. Like everyone, that's what I said is, it unites us. It's an unfortunate thing. We look across the table and we know we have something in common, most likely. But yeah, I lost my dad a year ago, and he did what he needed to do to stay alive for 4 years, tried all the different medicines, flew to MD Anderson to try to get in a trial. It unfortunately wasn't right for him. Got transfusions every week for a year, new blood, literally new blood every week for a year to stay alive, because the doctors were at the beginning of his diagnosis said, leukemia is one of those cancers. There's always new things coming. So if we can keep batting this leukemia away, making it, like I said, manageable, right? Survivable. We never know what's on the horizon. And that is really the genesis of stand-up. It's like constantly finding new things. And that's when I talk about hope, that's what kept my dad alive, was that notion of hope. It's like, well, the doctor said that who knows, in a year there might be something for my Philadelphia chromosome that will work.
Right.
And then when it just got to be too much, he decided that he lived a good life. He wanted to live to 80, and he died on his 80th birthday.
Wow. That's incredible story. Rusty, talk a little bit about, what's coming up and importantly for us and our team watching, how we can get involved and help.
I think everybody can go to standuptocancer.org and find special ways that we can help you get your questions answered, but mostly learn a little bit about us so you can then tell others to give $1. If everybody that just came to us and they gave $1, but the best part is that because of you, we have this opportunity to talk to so many people. And your employees, by the way, was the entire reason why when we came here, it was like, what can we do for the employees? And we actually have employees in all of our PSAs, as you know.
That's right.
And without them and without you, we wouldn't be here.
Oh, that's terrific. We'll close on a little bit of a lighter note because, Eric, you talked a little sports out there.
Yeah.
And your allegiance to, Kansas City and K-State is very well documented.
Yeah.
Any crazy sports predictions here as we close out the year?
Well, I try not to stay out of the prediction business because I don't have very much to do with the outcome on the field. So I like to be a fan and watch the games. I obviously have a different attitude towards my Kansas City Chiefs in the Patrick Mahomes era. I've told many a reporter that, it's a different time for me as a fan when it's 3rd and 18 or it's 4th and 3. I believe we're going to get what we need to get. And Patrick Mahomes constantly proves me correct in that. I'm happy he's our quarterback. I said I'd love a Cowboys Chiefs Super Bowl because of the history of the Kansas City Chiefs being the Dallas Texans and Lamar Hunt moving them to Kansas City. And that would be a great Super Bowl. I love Dak. I think Dak is a great human being, also been very touched with cancer and just an outstanding person. So I root for the Cowboys when they're not playing the Chiefs. So that would be great. And, one thing I will tell you that I love about American Airlines is they created a flight into Manhattan, Kansas, which
that's right.
I've heard, and I don't know if it's true, was Bill Snyder's doing, the head football coach at Kansas State, at some point really came to American Airlines and said, for recruiting and for people to come to Manhattan, Kansas, we need that pipeline. We need to get kids from Texas to Manhattan, Kansas. And who knows if Bill Snyder has that power with American Airlines, but I'm going to go with God on that and say Bill Snyder does have the power to get a flight. But I've taken that flight from LA. You can fly LA to Dallas, Dallas to Manhattan.
There you go.
Save me a tremendous amount of time.
There you go. That's awesome.
So thank you, American.
There it is. We got it all in this show.
Thank
Stand
you.
Up to Cancer, K-State, Chiefs football. I mean, there it is. And for team members who want to learn more about our partnership with Stand Up, we have tons of information out there on JetNet, also on our newsroom. And as a reminder, where Tell Me Why lives. It's on JetNet. It's out on where you pick up your podcast, be it SoundCloud or Apple. If you have things you want to hear about, learn about, know about, please feel free to drop us a note on JetNet. We have a couple more episodes this year before the season comes to a conclusion, and we'll try to get it to you on the next episode of Tell Me Why. Thanks again.
Now you have a sound effect for your podcast.
I love it.